so excited to see you again and get to share another Bible story with you this week. Make sure you grab your Bible, and this week we're going to be talking about someone who sells purple cloth. So make sure you grab something purple for this week's lesson, and we'll get started in just a minute. So today's story is in Acts chapter 16, verses 9 through 15. And it is called, Paul Tells People About Jesus. Now, Paul was someone who believed in God, and after Jesus died and rose again from the cross, Paul was met by Jesus himself, and Jesus showed him his way and his true way. And after that, he started traveling all over telling people about Jesus. Well, in his travels, Paul had a vision one day that he saw a man from across the water calling out and saying, "Come visit us in Macedonia." It was another country that was far from where Paul was at. So he believed that God was calling him to go tell those people about Jesus. So he got up the next morning with his friends, got on a boat, and sailed to Philippi, which is a city in Macedonia. Now, once they arrived, they got up one morning after they'd stayed there several days, and they went out to the river. Now, our church right here where I'm at, I can see the river here right across the street. It's like a waterway where you can go swimming, you can go on your boats. It's a fun time. So he went out by the river because he thought that that would be a good place where people would be gathering and praying. So they were going to just pray and find anyone who was praying also. Well, once Paul and his friends got there, they started talking to the women who had gathered there, and they met a woman named Lydia. Now, she was from another town, but she was a businesswoman. That means she owned a store, and she sold purple cloth. That's why I told you to get something purple to remind you of Lydia. Because in those times, purple was a color of royalty, and it was important and could be expensive. So this woman had an important business that sold expensive cloth to rich people. And she loved God, and she was a worshiper of God, but she didn't know Jesus yet. So Paul told her about Jesus, and she believed. So, once she believed, she not only got baptized herself in the water, in the river right there, her whole family was baptized. So once her whole family came to believe in Jesus, she said, "Paul, you and your friends need to come to my house." And Paul was like, "No, we need to continue our travels. We need to keep telling others about Jesus." She said, "If you consider me a believer of Jesus, then you need to come to my house. I need to feed you and show you how thankful I am that you brought me the good news." So it says in the Bible that they were persuaded by her, this Miss Lydia, to come to their house and have a meal. And after they shared a meal together and were so grateful to hear the good news that Jesus saves, Paul and his friends went along their travels. So today's story shows us that when we obey God, when we feel on our heart that He has called us to go somewhere, that people are going to be saved when we go, when we obey. And today's Bible verse is, Jesus said, "Go and tell the good news." And that's from Mark 16:15. We talked about that a couple months ago. So it's important to be reminded frequently, all the time. So even though we can't see a lot of people in person right now, everyone we do see, our family, our friends, everyone we talk to on the phone or on FaceTime, we can tell them about Jesus, and their lives are gonna be changed because of our obedience. So today we talked about Paul and his friends traveling to go meet Lydia and her family to tell them about Jesus, and they were so grateful. Make sure you click the link below to print out your coloring sheet. This is what it looks like for this week. To remind you that when we obey God and go tell people the good news that Jesus saves, people's lives are changed. Have a great week.